Kai walked through the quiet halls of the Cairo Museum, his eyes scanning the old scrolls and dusty shelves. The sunlight from the tall windows made the room feel warm, but the air smelled of ancient stone and old paper. Kai had always loved history, and today he was looking for something very special. He wanted to find the secrets that no one had discovered before. For years, Kai had studied the Great Sphinx of Giza. He knew every story about its construction, every legend told by travelers and historians. But there was one thing that had always puzzled him. Some old maps and writings hinted that the Sphinx was more than a statue. There were whispers of a hidden door, a secret passage that led to something incredible. Most people thought it was just a myth, but Kai believed there was truth in it. He moved slowly along the shelves, carefully examining a stack of rolled-up maps. His fingers trembled slightly as he unrolled one of the oldest pieces. The paper was thin and fragile, and the ink had faded in many places. Kai held his breath as he looked at the drawings. Lines and symbols marked a path, and a small sketch of the Sphinx's chest showed a faint outline of a door. He could hardly believe what he was seeing. This might be it, Kai whispered to himself. His voice echoed softly in the empty room. The map seemed to point to a hidden tunnel beneath the statue. The idea that humans had walked through this door centuries ago made his heart beat faster. He knew he had to find a team, people he could trust, to explore it with him. Kai left the museum and walked through the busy streets of Cairo. He thought about whom he could invite to join the expedition. He needed someone who understood machines, someone who could read ancient texts, and someone brave enough to enter unknown tunnels. After a few calls, he had gathered 3 people: Hannah, a skilled engineer who loved solving puzzles; Omar, a historian who knew the Sphinx's legends better than anyone; and Lean, an experienced explorer who had traveled to deserts, mountains, and caves all over the world. The team met at Kai's small apartment that evening. On the table, he spread the map and pointed to the faint lines and symbols. "Look at this," he said. "This is not just a drawing. It shows a path, a hidden door inside the Sphinx. I believe it leads to something incredible, something no human has seen for centuries." Hannah leaned forward, examining the map closely. "The symbols here are unusual," she said. "They are not just decoration. They might be instructions or a code. If we follow them carefully, we might unlock something no one has ever opened." Omar nodded, his eyes shining with excitement. "Legends always say the Sphinx protects secrets," he said. "If this map is real, we could discover knowledge that has been hidden for thousands of years. This could change everything we know about human history." Lean smiled. "Then we should not waste time. If the door is real, we need to be ready. The desert can be dangerous, and the Sphinx is old. Every step must be careful and precise." The next morning, the team arrived at the Giza Plateau. The Sphinx stood tall and majestic under the rising sun. Its stone face looked calm, almost as if it knew the team had come to uncover its secret. Kai walked closer, feeling a mix of awe and nervousness. He placed his hand on the warm stone, imagining what could be hidden inside. Hannah checked the equipment. She had brought lights, scanners, and tools to measure the stone. Omar studied the symbols on the map again, trying to match them with the carvings on the Sphinx. Lean surveyed the area, making sure nothing could disturb their work. After hours of careful searching, Kai noticed something unusual. A small area on the chest of the Sphinx seemed slightly different from the rest. The stone had faint lines, almost like a rectangle, hidden beneath centuries of dust and sand. "Here," he said. "I think this is where the door is." The team worked together. Hannah gently brushed the sand away, revealing more of the strange outline. Omar traced his fingers over the carvings, comparing them to the map. Slowly, a pattern began to appear, glowing faintly in the sunlight. The shape of a door became clear. Kai stepped back and smiled. "We found it," he said. The hidden door of the Sphinx is real. We are about to enter a place no one has seen in thousands of years. The team exchanged excited glances. The air seemed to vibrate with energy, as if the Sphinx itself was waiting for them. Kai felt a rush of courage and curiosity. He knew this was only the beginning. Beyond this door lay a mystery that could change the world forever. Kai took a deep breath and turned to his team. "Are you ready?" he asked. Each of them nodded, their eyes shining with determination. Together, they prepared to step into the darkness, where history, knowledge, and adventure waited. The sun climbed higher, casting long shadows on the desert floor. The hidden door had been found. Now, the secrets of the Sphinx were ready to reveal themselves to humans once again. Kai and his team stood in front of the hidden door carved into the chest of the Sphinx. The outline of the door shimmered faintly as sunlight touched it. The air around them felt warmer, as if the stone itself was alive. For a moment, all four of them were silent, taking in the magnitude of what they had found. This was not just history. This was a secret waiting to be discovered. Hannah, the engineer, carefully examined the door. "It is smooth, but I can feel tiny grooves," she said. "They might be part of a mechanism. If we push the right places, the door could open." Omar, the historian, leaned closer, studying the ancient symbols. "These markings are like nothing I have seen before," he said. "They could be instructions. The builders wanted only someone clever and patient to open this door." Lin, the explorer, looked around the Sphinx. "We need to be careful. We do not know what is behind the door. It could be fragile, or it could be dangerous. One wrong step, and we could harm the structure or ourselves." Kai nodded. "We proceed slowly. Step by step." He took a deep breath and placed his hand on the door. The stone felt smooth and cold at first, but under his fingers, it seemed to hum lightly. He followed the patterns carved into the surface, tracing the symbols as carefully as he could. Hannah studied the grooves with a small tool. "Try pressing here, and then here," she suggested. Kai followed her instructions. The door made a soft clicking sound. A faint vibration ran through the stone. The team froze, their hearts beating faster. Suddenly, a section of the door began to move inward. Slowly, the stone slid back, revealing a dark tunnel that led deep into the Sphinx. The air smelled of ancient dust and something metallic, like old machinery. Kai held a flashlight and stepped forward. The beam of light danced on the walls, showing more symbols carved into the stone. "This is incredible," Omar whispered. "No one has seen this for thousands of years. Every symbol, every line, it is like a story waiting to be read." Lin carefully followed, her boots making soft sounds on the stone floor. "Stay close," she said. "We do not know how far this tunnel goes or what is inside. The walls might be fragile, and the floor could be uneven." The tunnel twisted and turned, descending slowly. As they moved deeper, the air grew cooler and the faint hum from the door grew louder. Kai felt a shiver of excitement. Every step felt like stepping further into history. After a few minutes, the tunnel opened into a large chamber. The room was wider than the Sphinx itself and filled with strange light. The walls were covered in carvings that glowed softly, showing scenes of stars, planets, and beings that looked unlike humans. Some carvings showed humans interacting with these beings, learning from them, and building machines that Kai could not understand. Hannah gasped. "This is technology," she said. "It is ancient, but it works. Look at these symbols. They are instructions for machines, energy, and travel." Omar ran his fingers over the glowing carvings. "These stories show a connection between humans and something beyond Earth. It is like we were chosen to discover this knowledge." The Sphinx was not just a monument. It was a guardian of secrets. Lin walked closer to a central device in the chamber. It looked like a machine made of metal and crystal, glowing softly with energy. "This must be the heart of the chamber," she said. "Everything here seems to focus on this device." Kai approached the machine carefully. It was larger than a person and had many moving parts. Strange symbols covered its surface, and a low hum filled the room. Kai reached out and touched the crystal. The moment his fingers made contact, the chamber seemed to respond. The walls lit up brighter, showing moving images of stars and planets. The hum became a soft voice, almost like it was speaking to them. Hannah stepped closer. "It is reacting to humans," she said. "It wants us to interact with it. But how do we know what to do?" Omar studied the carvings again. "I think it is a test. The Sphinx and this chamber were created to see if humans are clever, patient, and brave enough to understand and use this knowledge." Lean smiled. "Then we must be careful and thoughtful. We cannot rush. We must respect what is here and learn from it." Kai nodded. "We are here to discover, not to destroy. Every step we take must honor the builders and the knowledge they left for us." The team spent hours exploring the chamber. Every symbol, every glow, every sound seemed alive. They realized that this hidden door was not just a passage. It was a gateway to something greater, something that humans were meant to find and understand. Kai looked around at his team. "This is just the beginning," he said. "The Sphinx has waited for us. Now it is our turn to uncover its secrets." The chamber seemed to respond, its light pulsing gently. The hidden door had led them to a place beyond imagination, a place that tested their courage, intelligence, and patience. Humanity had stepped into the unknown, and the Sphinx had welcomed them. Kai felt a thrill of excitement and responsibility. Whatever lay ahead, he knew humans were ready to face it. They had discovered the hidden door. Now they had to explore the wonders that waited beyond. Kai and his team stood in the glowing chamber, staring at the strange machine at the center. Its surface shimmered with colors they had never seen before, and the hum it produced felt alive. It was as if the machine had been waiting for them for thousands of years. Every light, every symbol, and every movement seemed purposeful, almost like it was calling for human touch. Hannah stepped closer and ran her fingers over the smooth metal. "This is unlike any machine we know," she said. "It is alive in a way, but not like a person. It reacts when we are near. I think it is waiting for us to figure out how it works." Omar walked around the machine, examining the carvings on the floor and walls. "These symbols tell a story," he said. "Humans once interacted with beings from another world. They learned knowledge and technology, then used it wisely. I think this machine was part of that knowledge. It is a message, a test, and a gift all at once." Lean took a careful step closer, looking at the crystals embedded in the machine. "If it is a test, then we must be careful. One wrong action could trigger something we cannot control. We need to observe and understand before we do anything." Kai nodded, his hand hovering above the glowing surface. "We will approach this slowly," he said. "We will not rush. We must be patient and thoughtful." He pressed a small symbol on the machine. Immediately, a holographic display appeared above it, showing stars, planets, and lines connecting them. The colors shifted and moved, forming patterns that seemed alive. The display was so detailed that Kai could see entire galaxies and planets that looked like they were real. Hannah's eyes widened. "It is a map of space," she said. "Not just our galaxy, but many galaxies. This machine can show the universe, and maybe even guide us through it." Omar leaned closer, tracing the lines with his finger. The carvings on the walls match this display. Humans were able to understand and travel using this knowledge. We are seeing a path that was meant for us to find. It is incredible. Lean studied the symbols surrounding the machine. It seems to react to human touch and understanding. Only those who can think and reason carefully will be able to use it. This is why the Sphinx protected it. Not everyone would have been able to discover it. Kai pressed another symbol, and a soft voice echoed through the chamber. It was not loud, but it filled the room. Knowledge is for those who are brave, patient, and clever, the voice said. Use it with care and wisdom. The team exchanged looks. They had expected a machine, but they had not expected it to communicate. Hannah reached out again, pressing a sequence of symbols she had noticed on the walls. The machine responded with more light and a new display. Diagrams appeared, showing energy sources, flying ships, and devices that could send messages across space. This is beyond imagination, Hannah said, her voice filled with wonder. The knowledge here could change everything. Humans could travel to the stars and explore the universe. This machine is a key to possibilities we never dreamed of. Omar smiled. And it was waiting for us. It proves something very important. Humans have curiosity, intelligence, and courage. We are capable of understanding things other species could not. That is why the Sphinx chose us to find it. Lean looked around the chamber, her eyes reflecting the glow of the machine. We must use this knowledge responsibly. The builders trusted humans to learn and explore, but we must also be wise. This is not just a gift, it is a responsibility. Kai took a deep breath and placed both hands on the machine. It hummed louder, the light brightening. Symbols on the wall seemed to move, showing humans traveling through space, discovering new worlds, and learning from distant stars. It was like watching history and the future at the same time. The team realized something amazing. This machine was not only a source of knowledge, it was a teacher. It could guide humans, but only if they were ready to understand and act wisely. Every test, every symbol, every challenge in the Sphinx's hidden chamber had prepared them for this moment. Hannah looked at Kai and smiled. We are standing at the beginning of something incredible. This machine shows us what humans can achieve. It is proof that our curiosity and courage make us special. Kai nodded, feeling a mixture of awe and responsibility. We have discovered something that has been waiting for humanity. Now it is our choice. We can learn, explore, and grow. The Sphinx and its machine are trusting us to be careful, to be brave, and to be wise. Lean stepped back and looked at the team. The journey has just begun. What we learn here will guide humans to new places and new understanding. We must take it seriously, but we must also be ready for adventure. The chamber glowed softly as if agreeing with her. The machine hummed gently, waiting for the next step. Kai realized that this was only the start of their journey. Beyond the Sphinx, beyond Earth, there were possibilities that humans had never imagined. Kai and his team felt a sense of purpose and excitement. They were no longer just explorers. They were chosen to unlock knowledge that could take humanity to the stars. The ancient machine had awakened, and now it was ready to teach them everything it could. For the first time, Kai understood the full meaning of the Sphinx's hidden door. It was more than a secret passage. It was a gateway to human potential, waiting for those who were brave, clever, and willing to learn. Kai and his team stood before the ancient machine, their faces glowing with the soft light of the chamber. The hum had settled into a steady rhythm, like the heartbeat of the Sphinx itself. The machine had shown them maps of stars, galaxies, and strange devices, but now something new appeared. A set of glowing lines stretched across the chamber, forming a three-dimensional map that floated above the central device. Hannah stepped closer, her eyes wide with excitement. This is more than a map, she said. It is a guide. Look at the lines connecting planets and stars. They are like paths, maybe even routes that humans can follow. Omar traced the lines with his hand, careful not to touch the machine. The symbols match the carvings on the walls. These are directions, but they also tell a story. They show civilizations that existed long ago and places where humans could go to learn more. Lean studied the floating map. It is like a cosmic network. Each line represents a connection, a place where knowledge or energy flows. If we follow these paths, we might find civilizations or resources humans have never known. Kai reached out and touched a glowing point on the map. Instantly, the point expanded, showing a small world with swirling colors and strange shapes. It looked alive, as if it were breathing. "It is responding to us," he said. "The machine wants us to explore, but it also wants us to understand. Every choice matters." Hannah nodded. "We can learn from this. The machine is showing us that humans are capable of understanding the universe. It is a test of intelligence, patience, and curiosity." Omar smiled. "It is incredible to think that humans, standing here on Earth, can follow the path of civilizations that existed long before us. The Sphinx and this chamber have been waiting for someone like us to find it." Lean pointed to another point on the map. "Look here. This one is connected to many others. It could be a hub or a place of knowledge. We should study these connections carefully. The machine is guiding us, but we must think for ourselves." Kai examined the glowing lines. "Every path seems to lead to discovery. Some paths are simple, some are complex. The machine is showing us that knowledge is not given freely. It must be earned through patience and understanding." Hannah moved her hand above the map, watching as the lines shifted and changed. "It is interactive," she said. "The machine responds to our thoughts and actions. It wants us to learn by doing, by exploring and testing our understanding." Omar leaned closer. "Some of these worlds might have resources humans can use. Others might have dangers we cannot yet imagine. The machine is teaching us to be careful, to plan, and to respect what we discover." Lean smiled. "This is the greatest map humans have ever seen. It is a guide to the stars, to knowledge, and to our potential. The Sphinx chose humans for a reason. It knew we could rise to the challenge." Kai reached out again, touching a cluster of points connected by thin glowing lines. The machine reacted instantly. The points expanded, showing images of humans interacting with other beings. They were learning, building, and traveling. The scenes were peaceful and full of curiosity. It was a vision of what humans could achieve if they followed the path of wisdom. Hannah gasped. "Look at that. Humans are not just exploring. They are learning and sharing knowledge with others. The machine shows that cooperation is part of the journey. We cannot succeed alone." Omar nodded. "It is a lesson as much as a map. Humans are capable of greatness when they are brave, clever, and thoughtful. The Sphinx and its machine are teaching us that our potential is limitless if we act wisely." Lean studied the map carefully. "We have a responsibility. This knowledge is powerful. We must use it carefully and make sure humans are ready for what lies ahead. The paths are open, but only those who are prepared can follow them safely." Kai looked at the glowing map and felt a sense of awe. The Sphinx had hidden the secret for thousands of years, waiting for humans who were ready. Now they had the chance to explore the stars, learn ancient wisdom, and grow as a species. The team spent hours studying the map, tracing paths, and discussing possibilities. Every new connection they discovered felt like a doorway to a new adventure. The machine responded to their actions, showing more worlds and possibilities as they learned and understood. As they worked, Kai realized that the map was more than a guide. It was a symbol of human potential. The Sphinx had shown that curiosity, intelligence, and courage could open doors to the universe itself. Humanity was capable of discovering wonders beyond imagination. Hannah turned to Kai and said, "This is just the beginning. The map is vast, and there is so much to explore. We have been given a chance to lead humans into a new era of discovery." Kai smiled, feeling the weight of responsibility and excitement. "We will honor the Sphinx and its trust. We will follow the paths carefully, learn what we can, and share our knowledge wisely. Humanity is ready for this." The glowing map pulsed gently, as if agreeing with him. The chamber seemed alive, welcoming humans into a universe full of mysteries and wonders. The hidden door had led them not just to a machine, but to a gateway to the stars. Kai knew that their journey was only beginning. With the map as their guide, humans could reach places they had never imagined. The Sphinx had given them a gift, and it was up to them to use it with wisdom, courage, and curiosity. The chamber hummed softly, and the map continued to glow, waiting for humans to explore the endless possibilities of the universe. The glowing map floated above the ancient machine, its shifting lights painting the chamber walls with the colors of stars. Kai and his team stood in silence, staring at the endless paths that stretched into the unknown. It was beautiful, but it was also overwhelming. For a long moment, no one spoke. Each of them felt the same question forming in their minds. Were they ready for what lay ahead? Hannah broke the silence first. The machine is not just showing us knowledge. It is watching us. Every time we touch the map, it reacts. I think it is testing us, to see if humans are truly ready to handle this wisdom. Omar studied the glowing carvings around them. Look here, he said, pointing to a set of symbols that circled the map. They describe trials of mind, heart, and courage. The builders must have designed this chamber to challenge anyone who dared to unlock the secrets. It is not enough to find the map. We must prove ourselves worthy of using it. Lean's eyes narrowed as she looked at the symbols. So the door was only the beginning. The real test starts now. We must be prepared for anything. Kai stepped closer to the machine, his hand hovering over the map. If this is a test, then it means the builders believed humans were capable of passing it. We cannot back away now. We must face whatever comes. As soon as his hand touched the glowing surface, the chamber shifted. The walls rippled like water, and the floor beneath them rumbled. In an instant, the familiar carvings vanished. The chamber transformed into a maze of glowing pathways and tall stone pillars. The machine still hummed at the center, but now it looked distant, surrounded by obstacles. Hannah gasped. The chamber has changed. It has become a puzzle. Omar nodded slowly. This is the first trial. We must find our way back to the machine. Only then will the chamber reveal its next secret. Lean tightened the straps of her pack. Then let us move carefully. Puzzles can be dangerous. The walls may shift again. The team started forward, choosing a narrow path between two tall pillars. The glowing floor lit their way, but the path twisted sharply, leading them deeper into the maze. Soon, they reached a dead end where 3 stone panels blocked their way. Strange symbols glowed faintly on the panels. Hannah crouched to study them. It looks like a code, she said. We must press the symbols in the right order. If we choose wrong, the path might close. Omar examined the carvings nearby. The answer must be hidden in these walls. Look closely. Together, they searched the carvings and compared them with the glowing symbols. After a few minutes, Hannah pressed 3 symbols in sequence. The panels slid apart, revealing another path. The floor glowed brighter, as if the chamber was rewarding them. Kai smiled. We solved the first puzzle. The chamber wants us to think, to use our intelligence. They continued forward, but soon they faced another challenge. A wide gap separated their path from the next platform. The floor glowed faintly below, showing only darkness. Lean stepped forward, testing the edge. It is too wide to jump. There must be another way. Hannah pointed upward. Look at the carvings above. They show humans moving stones with teamwork. Maybe the answer is to work together. They searched the platform and found heavy slabs that could fit across the gap. One by one, they carried the slabs and placed them carefully, forming a bridge. It was slow and tiring, but when the final slab was set, the floor glowed warmly. The chamber had accepted their solution. Omar wiped sweat from his brow. This is not just a test of intelligence. It is also a test of cooperation. The chamber is reminding us that humans succeed when they work together. As they crossed the bridge, the walls shifted again. This time, the path led them into a wide circular room. At the center stood a tall figure carved from stone. Its eyes glowed faintly, and its arms were crossed over its chest. Lean tensed. This looks like the final challenge. The stone figure lowered its arms and spoke in a deep voice that echoed through the chamber. To claim the knowledge of the stars, you must show courage. Fear is the enemy of wisdom. Will you step forward? Kai felt his heart race. He knew this was the true test. The figure represented fear itself, and the only way forward was to face it. He glanced at his team. We have come this far together. We will face this together. He stepped forward, his hands steady even though his heart pounded. Hannah, Omar, and Lean followed. The figure's eyes glowed brighter, but the team did not stop. With every step, the air grew heavier, as if trying to push them back. Still, they kept moving, one step after another. When they reached the figure, it slowly lowered its head in respect. The glowing eyes dimmed, and the heavy air lifted. The chamber rumbled, then returned to its original form. The map floated above the machine once again, shining brighter than before. Hannah let out a long breath. We passed. The chamber tested our intelligence, teamwork, and courage. And we succeeded. Omar smiled. The builders knew that humans are strongest when they use their minds, their hearts, and their unity. We have proven that we are worthy. Lean placed her hand on the machine. The path is open. Now the real journey begins. Kai looked at the glowing map, his eyes filled with determination. This was only the first test. The universe is waiting for us. And humanity is ready. The machine pulsed with light, as if agreeing with him. The test of courage was complete, and the Sphinx had welcomed humans into a greater destiny. The chamber glowed brighter than ever before. The machine's hum grew steady, as if it was satisfied with the team's success. Kai and his companions stood around the ancient device, breathing hard from the trial they had just overcome. The stone figure had tested their courage, and now the chamber itself seemed to be rewarding them. Slowly, the floor at the center of the room shifted. A circular platform rose upward, carrying a crystal sphere the size of a human head. The sphere shone with soft light, its surface smooth and flawless. Inside, tiny points of light swirled like stars trapped within glass. Hannah gasped in awe. It is beautiful. I think this is the heart of the Sphinx's secret. Omar stepped closer, his eyes reflecting the glow. The carvings spoke of a gift for those who proved themselves. This must be it. The crystal holds knowledge that has been waiting for humans to claim. Lean kept her distance, watching carefully. Be cautious. Something this powerful will not be simple. We must approach with respect. Kai moved slowly toward the sphere. His hand hovered above it, and he felt a gentle warmth radiating from the crystal. He took a deep breath, then touched the smooth surface with his fingertips. The chamber reacted instantly. The glowing walls lit up with moving images, and the map above the machine expanded to fill the air around them. The sphere released a wave of light that passed through the team like a soft breeze. In that moment, Kai felt knowledge flooding his mind, images, sounds, and patterns he could barely understand. He staggered back, holding his head. It is speaking to me, he said. Not in words, but in ideas. It is showing me how the universe works. Hannah stepped forward, resting her hand on the sphere. Her eyes widened, and she gasped. Energy beyond anything we know. Power from the stars themselves. This crystal holds the secrets of endless energy. If humans can learn to use it, we will never run out of power again. Omar placed his hand beside hers, and his face lit with wonder. Languages, histories, maps of civilizations long gone. The crystal carries the memory of an ancient network. It is an archive of wisdom. Lean hesitated for a moment, then touched the crystal as well. Her breath caught. It shows me travel between stars. Ships that can cross galaxies, not in centuries, but in days. This is a guide for journeys beyond Earth. The team stood together, each touched by the sphere's gift. The crystal was not just knowledge, it was a key to humanity's future. It revealed energy that could end struggles, technology that could carry humans to other worlds, and wisdom that could guide them to use it responsibly. Kai lowered his hand slowly, his heart racing. This is what the Sphinx was guarding. The builders hid this so it would only be found by those ready to use it. They wanted humans to earn it, to show courage and intelligence before claiming it. Hannah nodded, her eyes still glowing with wonder. With this knowledge, we could create machines that heal the planet. We could build ships that explore the stars. We could light up cities without harming the Earth. Omar's voice was calm but firm. But it is also a great responsibility. If humans misuse this, it could bring harm. The builders trusted us to use it wisely. We must be careful. Lean crossed her arms thoughtfully. This crystal is not just a gift. It is a test of our character. We have proven ourselves here, but the true test begins when we bring this knowledge back to humanity. Will we rise to greatness, or will we fall to greed? Kai looked at each of them, his expression serious. That choice will be ours. But I believe in humanity. We are not perfect, but we are curious, brave, and full of hope. The builders saw something in us, and I think they were right. We will honor this gift. The crystal pulsed softly, as if it understood his words. The chamber's glow shifted to a calm golden light, filling the air with warmth and peace. The map above the machine settled into place, highlighting Earth as the starting point of countless paths across the stars. For a long moment, the team stood in silence, absorbing the weight of what they had discovered. They knew the knowledge inside the crystal could change the course of history. No longer would humans be limited to Earth. No longer would they be bound by fear of the unknown. The universe had opened its doors, and humanity had been given the key. Hannah finally spoke, her voice soft but determined. We cannot keep this hidden. The world must know. Every human deserves to share in this discovery. Omar nodded. But we must present it carefully. Knowledge without guidance can cause chaos. We will need to teach, to prepare people for what this means. Lean smiled faintly. It will not be easy. Change never is. But if humanity is to grow, it must face this challenge. Kai placed his hand on the crystal one more time. Then it is decided. We will carry this knowledge back to the surface. We will share it with the world. And we will begin a new chapter for humanity. The sphere glowed brighter, filling the chamber with light. The walls trembled, and the sound of stone shifting echoed around them. It was as if the Sphinx itself was acknowledging their decision. The team stepped back, their faces filled with determination. They had uncovered the greatest secret of the Sphinx, and with it, the path to humanity's future. The revelation was clear. The builders had trusted humans to inherit the stars. And now, at last, that trust was ready to be fulfilled. The crystal sphere glowed softly in Kai's hands as the chamber settled back into silence. The humming of the ancient machine faded into a gentle rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. The trial was complete. The Sphinx had revealed its greatest secret, and now the knowledge belonged to humanity. Kai looked at his companions. Each of them still carried the awe of what they had seen inside the crystal's light. Hannah's eyes shone with visions of energy and invention. Omar carried the weight of history and the wisdom of forgotten civilizations. Lean's steady gaze reflected the courage needed to face the unknown. Together, they knew that the discovery would change the world. The team retraced their steps through the tunnel. The hidden door slid shut behind them as if sealing itself until the next time humanity needed guidance. When they emerged into the desert sunlight, The great Sphinx stood as it always had, calm and silent, its expression unreadable. Yet for Kai, it no longer seemed like stone. It felt alive, a guardian that had finally completed its duty. Lean shielded her eyes against the bright Sunday. It looks the same, but we know now what it carries within. The world will never look at it the same way again. Omar nodded. For thousands of years, people wondered about the Sphinx. Now we carry its true story. It was not just built as a monument. It was a message and a bridge to the future. Hannah carefully checked the crystal sphere, which still pulsed with light. "This is more than a discovery," she said. "It is hope. With this, we can solve problems that seemed impossible. We can light cities without destroying the earth. We can travel farther than anyone dreamed." Kai held the sphere close, his voice steady. "Then we must protect it. This knowledge belongs to all of humanity, not to a few. We will share it, but wisely." The journey back to Cairo was filled with quiet reflection. Each member of the team imagined what the world might look like when humanity embraced the secrets of the Sphinx. Cities glowing with clean energy. Ships flying beyond the solar system. People united by the desire to explore, to learn, and to build a better future. When the news of their discovery reached the world, it spread like fire. At first, many doubted the story. Some thought it was only another legend. But when the crystal's light was shown, when scientists and engineers touched it and saw the knowledge it carried, doubt turned to belief. Leaders, thinkers, and dreamers gathered to study the gift. Teams of scientists worked day and night, translating the symbols and patterns. They discovered new ways to harness energy from the sun and the earth itself. They built engines that could carry humans beyond the stars. Each discovery felt like another door opening, another step toward the future that the builders of the Sphinx had promised. Omar often reminded them of the lessons carved into the chamber walls. The builders did not give us this knowledge for power or control. They gave it to us for learning, for growth, and for unity. If we forget that, we will fail the test. Hannah poured her skill into designing new machines. Every invention was cleaner, faster, and safer than anything before. She believed the Sphinx had awakened her own creativity, showing her what humans could achieve when guided by wisdom. Lean trained new explorers. She knew that courage would be as important as knowledge. The paths on the cosmic map led to unknown worlds, and fear would not help anyone. Humanity needed people willing to step into the dark with steady hearts. And Kai, who had first found the map, carried the crystal as a symbol of trust. He spoke to people around the world, reminding them that the Sphinx had chosen humanity because of its curiosity and determination. "We are not perfect," he would say, "but we are capable of greatness when we work together." Years passed quickly. The world began to change. Ships rose into the sky, carrying humans beyond Earth's orbit. Stations were built on the Moon and Mars, powered by the knowledge from the crystal. People looked up at the stars with new hope, knowing that the universe was no longer out of reach. At last, the day came when the first ship prepared to follow the paths shown on the cosmic map. The vessel was large and strong, its engines glowing with the new energy unlocked by the sphere. On its side was a symbol carved from the Sphinx itself, a reminder of where the journey had begun. Kai, Hannah, Omar, and Lean stood together at the launch site. The ship towered above them, filled with explorers ready to take the first step into the galaxy. "This is it," Hannah whispered. "The beginning of the next chapter for humanity." Omar smiled. "From the desert sands to the stars. The builders believed in us, and today we prove them right." Lean placed her hand on the crystal sphere, which still pulsed with gentle light. "We will carry their gift with us wherever we go." Kai looked at the ship and then at the sky above. The Sphinx kept its secret for thousands of years, waiting for humans to be ready. Today, we begin the journey it prepared us for. Today, we step into the universe as a people united by curiosity and courage. The engines roared to life, shaking the ground beneath them. The ship lifted slowly, then rose higher, blazing into the sky. The crowd below cheered as humanity's first true starship disappeared into the heavens. The Sphinx, silent in the desert, watched over the sands as it always had. But now its purpose was complete. Its hidden door had given humanity the key to the stars. For Kai and his companions, it was not an ending. It was a new beginning. Humanity had claimed its place among the stars, not through power or conquest, but through curiosity, courage, and the will to learn. The untold secret of the Sphinx was no longer hidden. It had become the light that would guide humans across the universe.